supper is done and it's time to sit down in front of the TV and watch our favorite show, Stump the Experts.
Boy, I love this show.
I'd love it better if we had a color TV.
What's wrong with this one?
Nothing. Except who ever heard of a black and white peacock?
I watched one for the first 10 years of my life. What's your point? The point is NBC wants you to buy a color set so you can see what a pretty picture they made. But right now, I assume the stores are closed, so let's just see what the questions are. It's Automotive Week on the show.
In auto racing, what do the letters OCS stand for?
Overhead camshaft.
Overhead what?
For those who don't know, a camshaft is a shaft with cams on it.
Now the mystery prize question is, are you ready?
Yeah?
How many pin nozzles in a 1927 Amos Gumbo touring car? Now you have 60 seconds.
Think fast, Barney Oldfield.
Miss Gumbo.
Running out, eh?
No, I don't think too fast on an empty stomach.
He slaps a sandwich together to make it look good, then slips out to the garage to ask Mom. Of course she knows the answer.
Wait a minute, I want to talk to you.
I'll be right back.
What was that all about? He even forgot his sandwich.
No problem, he can buy another one with the virtual prize money he wins for getting the answer right. He just has to get the TV to listen to him.
Only 7 seconds left.
1.
No, 7.
No, what's the answer?
Time's up. The answer is 1.
How'd you know that?
Well, I just happen to know a lot about cars, that's all.
And if you get reincarnated as a car, you know everything there is to know about every car ever made. It's in the contract.
I left my ham sandwich on... Mom, you didn't... You couldn't. Oh, Moon, what's the big idea? Very funny.
Well, yeah, it was. But she has something else on her mind. Or whatever she uses.
What do you see?
Nothing.
Now, how would you like to sit on your 4 wheels night after night, staring at nothing?
Excuse me? We established several episodes ago that she sleeps at night. We even heard her snoring. Now suddenly she's awake, staring at the darkness. No problem, just drop a Librium capsule in her radiator. She'll sleep like a go-kart.
Wouldn't it be lovely if I had my own TV set out here, Dave?
Oh, great. That's all I need is a TV set in the garage all night going by itself.
All right, forget it, Dave.
Okay, I'll forget it.
And here it comes.
I wouldn't want you spending a lot of money anyway.
Oh, it's not the money. I could get a used one.
No, it's still money. Money or no money, the kids have to go to college.
The manipulative mother goes into her act.
No, I'm going to get you a TV set, and that's that.
No, Dave, I'll do without it.
Okay, I'll forget it.
What's that?
I said, okay, I'll forget it.
No, before that.
I said, I'll get you a TV set, and that's that.
If that's what my son wants, it's good enough for me.
I seriously do not like her. I don't like manipulators. She said she came back to help him, but most of the time she's jerking him around like this to do something for herself. And once he gets her the TV and gets it hooked up, she continues to jerk him around.
Hi, honey.
Hi, Daddy.
Remember that Creature from the Black Lagoon knockoff or whatever it is.
And this week's subject is automobiles. So, folks, if you'd like to win 1,000 gallons of gasoline free and a chance to compete for the big mystery prize worth $5,000, send in your answer to this question on the subject of automobiles. How many rings were used in the pistons of the 1917 Candler Raceabout?
The answer is none, and Mom knows it. She's determined to send in her answer, and she yanks Dave's chain until he writes it out and sends it in for her. Meanwhile, she's honking the horn whenever she wants a channel change, and Dave is running out of excuses for why he can't fix that short circuit that keeps making it do that.
A TV remote control hooked up to a car battery? You gotta be putting me on.
Why can't you do it?
Never mind what I can do. The big question is why?
Why what?
A TV remote control hooked up to a car battery? And don't tell me you want it that way, because you want your car to watch television.
That's it. That's exactly it.
Even in 1965, remote controls used regular flashlight batteries. but I think the idea here is that hooking it up to her battery gives her control of it.
Say, doesn't your car watch television? You mean you let your car sit all alone in a dark garage without a television? What kind of a man are you?
Here, take it. Go on. And get out of here.
You are a clever man, Wilman, for one who has lived but one lifetime.
That is the Jerry Van Dyke we know and love. We should be turning him loose like that all the time. Had we done more of that, the show might have done better. I think I watched that scene a dozen times and laughed every time. As I said, the idea seems to be that hooking the remote to her battery gives her control of it. That's not a good thing because I think the Manhattan Project built this remote.
Mom, take it easy. Wait a minute. That remote control's a little too strong.
Or the TV is possessed.
What the? This thing must have a short somewhere.
Good evening, folks. This is Ronnie Stebbins again, down at the Smiling Dutchman's used car lot.
What's the matter with John Wayne?
I didn't change the channel.
Honey, enough with Ronnie Stebbins.
There must be some interference in the neighborhood.
Must be some interference in the neighborhood.
That happens when you have two identical remotes and they both use the same frequency. Except most remotes at that time used infrared light to talk to the TV, so they had to be somewhat line of sight. We should probably gloss over that little tidbit. They go back and forth until...
Dig, what's happening?
Oh, I'll fix him.
It's alive.
It's a toy. It's a toy. Kick it over. Turn it around. You're bigger than it is, and it is a toy.
Ole! Toto!
Toto!
On the other hand, it can do that. There's a reason the country established a government agency to regulate toy safety. I'm pretty sure Irwin Mainway designed this thing. Good thing you have a spare TV in the garage. Sorry, Mom.
But we couldn't fool everybody. We do have a winner. And the winner's name is Mrs. David Crabtree.
This is David Crabtree.
Oh, boy.
If my mother had started calling herself Mrs. Irving Frumpelmeyer, I would have been scared. Maybe it's time to call Manzini. Mrs. David Crabtree, nobody connected with the show will ever ask what her first name is, will appear on the show next week to compete for the big mystery prize. The only problem is, you couldn't fill a thimble with what the real Mrs. David Crabtree knows about cars. She can spell automobile, and that's about it.
I'll answer. All you have to do is explain it to her.
Mom, I can't even explain to her how she won the free gasoline. Now you're asking me to explain that she's going to be on stage, I'm going to be standing in the wings, and you're going to be parked out by the stage door, right?
Right. It'll be as easy as slipping your clutch.
And when they ask her the $5,000 questions, I'll hear it too. I'll run out, get the answer from you, run back in, and pantomime into Barb's, right?
100% right.
That could actually work as long as they don't get caught. Dave thinks it's illegal, but Mom talks him into it. Excuse me, she bullies him into it.
Honey, when they ask you a question, you just look right over here where we're standing.
What'll I see?
Right.
What?
Okay, now you just concentrate and the answer will come to you.
Just tell her you'll give her the answer. He's being so cagey about it, she's ready to bolt out the door. He keeps saying, trust me, but he has no reason not to tell her that he'll have the answer for her. This doesn't make sense. Instead of dwelling on a poor section of the script, let's take the leash off Jerry Van Dyke again.
What's the matter?
Please.
You just relax. Remember, old Dave's here.
May I have some water?
Sure. Remember, Dave, the old rocket Gibraltar's here with you.
You're right, sir. And now our next...
Those two did play well off each other. When you let them do what they do, it's funny. And there's a lot of it in this episode, which makes it one of the better ones so far.
Can you tell us, please, how many nuts, bolts, and screws there are in the Stromley-Gaxton carburetor?
Of course Mom knows the answer.
16 nuts, 14 screws, and 3 bolts, a total of 33.
Are you sure?
I ought to be. I'm wearing one.
She can count the nuts, bolts, and screws on her various parts. Possibly the most useless superpower ever. Now, if she could run up there and ram that door open, that would be a useful power.
30 seconds to go.
He can flash her the answer just in time.
10 seconds.
Or not.
I give up.
6 seconds. Take a guess at it, Mrs. Crabtree. Anything.
3. I've got the answer. It's 3.
You made it too complicated, Dave. Go like this. 3, 3, 33. She missed this because you were sliding all over the place. Next time, just prop the door open. Well, they didn't win the grand prize, which turned out to be an enormous gas-guzzling car that they don't need. And besides, if Dave even looked at that model, Barbara would make him eat his tie. So it's no big loss.
Well, you happy with your consolation prize?
You bet. That's something we really do need. A color TV.
In fact, it was a win. This is a good episode. The pacing is good, the jokes are funny, and Jerry Van Dyke got to be Jerry Van Dyke. He and Maggie Pierce were obviously getting more comfortable with each other and learning how to make a scene work for the best laughs. And in the end, they came out winners. People who won those cars had to pay massive taxes, licensing fees, you name it, it's a free gift that'll throw you into poverty. They should be free and clear with the TV. A free prize that you don't have to pay for. Ain't that a crazy notion?